Hello, good evening. This is Victor Obinna. Wow, I want to continue with the How to Improve Your Life in 9 Days series. How to Improve Your Life in 9 Days series. Now, if you've observed, I decided to record this video because of the technical difficulty I've been experiencing with my network throughout today. I couldn't come live to take up this particular section because of the technical issues, so I so much apologize for that. But I just want to make sure that today doesn't pass by without you getting to this section. How to improve your life in 9 days. Now, today is the third day, and I want to give you tips on how to improve your health. Tips on how to improve your health. The first day, I discussed how to discover purpose. You can go through my timeline and check it out. On the second day, I discussed how to gain self-confidence, how to improve your life by gaining self-confidence. Now, before I hit the road with today's section, I would like to introduce myself. I am Victor Obinna. I am a registered nurse with International Trauma and Critical Care Center, a leadership and wellness coach, and the founder of the 360degreelead.com. Okay, now today's section, I'll be taking on tips on how to improve your health. Tips on improving your health. Now, worldwide, we all know that not too many young people would suffer from chronic diseases. Worldwide, not too many young people will suffer from chronic diseases such as cancer, such as diabetes, such as heart failure, such as stroke, such as lungs disease. Not too many young people will suffer from these diseases. Now, chronic diseases can be classified under what we know as non-communicable disease. Yes, they are non-communicable diseases because they cannot be transmitted via any means, any medium possible, maybe via air, via water, and all that. You understand? They can be caused by various agents. They can be caused by maybe hereditary, several risk factors, and all that. Now, having said that young persons are not predisposed to chronic diseases, does it mean that we should all go back to our comfort zone and relax? Does it mean that we should all go back and relax? No, not yet. The narrative changes if for those people who take up behavioral patterns or habits that they get addicted to, such as smoking, such as alcoholism. The narrative changes for them. The narrative changes for those of us in sub-Saharan Africa where the life expectancy has been stated to be 43 to 46 years old by the World Health Organization report, or in more extreme cases, an average of 48 years following the United Nations reports. Now, the narrative changes for this group of persons. The narrative also changes for those in developing nations, for instance, where infectious diseases has increased the death burden in developing nations. Though there is a global epidemic of chronic diseases, but young individuals are not predisposed to these chronic illnesses. Now, when I talk about chronic illnesses, I also mean non-communicable diseases, and I've listed some of them, such as cancer, such as stroke, such as diabetes, such as lung disease, such as heart diseases. Now, young ones are not readily predisposed to these conditions because the risk factors includes risk factors such as tobacco, such as alcoholism, such as poor nutrition, such as lack of exercise. And we see that most of these habits are being taken up during adolescent age. The effects of this habit may not be seen at that early age. It may be something that will result to all these chronic diseases at a later age. For instance, an individual may commence smoking. It may not affect him at his adolescent age or as a young adult, but it will go a whole long way to affect such a person in future. Now, why must we address these risk factors that lead to various chronic diseases? It is important we address these risk factors because the treatment of chronic diseases is something that is comprehensive and highly lays burden on the economy and finance of any individual who is sick or who is to be managed with it. For instance, consider a young adult with renal failure. You see, at the end of the day, such an individual will require to be placed on dialysis for like 3 times a week in extreme cases. And such procedure is something that costs a huge amount of money. So these risk factors just have to be managed because it requires comprehensive and large health system investment. So risk factors has to be managed. Now, based on my experience in the healthcare sector, I've noticed that these chronic diseases, the burden of these chronic diseases is now increasing in young adults. Over the years I've practiced, I've noticed that these conditions, its incidence is now increasing in young adults. Now, the global epidemic of chronic diseases is actually increasing, yes, with annual death rate of about 38 million. Now, it has been discovered that 16 million of those cases are termed premature, which means that they occur before the age of 70, with an increase in burden in those lesser than 50 years. Now, with this narrative, it therefore shows that young adults are now more predisposed to chronic diseases. Young adults are now more predisposed to chronic diseases. The good thing is we can always change the narrative, we can always improve our health, we can always take up lifestyles that will help us minimize the occurrence of certain risk factors. Now, in this section, I will discuss the tips to improve your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual health and save you more years on earth. Now, let me just jump at it. Let me just kickstart at tips to improving your health. Tips to improving your health. The first on my list is think positively and meditate stress out of your life. Think positively and meditate stress out of your life. Now, many health problems, as we all know, have been linked to stress. Now, stress increases in our life due to increased responsibility at work, increased responsibility at home. It also increases as a result of increase in advancement of technology that so much lays burden on us on how to cope with our daily activities. Now, stress on its own predisposes us to physical and mental illnesses. Stress and chronic fatigue predisposes us to illness by reducing the effectivity of the immune system. So it's always good to look for means at which we can minimize stressors in our life, and we can do this through 3 specified means, which are: 1, the neuro-linguistic programming; the second one is through thinking positively; the third one is through meditation. Let me come again. We can reduce stressors in our life through neuro-linguistic programming, through thinking positively, and through meditation. Now, one thing that neuro-linguistic programming will do for us is it will help us to connect our mind with our body, going a whole long way to prevent stressors. Neuro-linguistic programming is an approach to communication, personal development, and psychotherapy developed by Richard Brander and John Grinder. Now, one thing that neuro-linguistic programming will do for us is to help us to control our internal state of mind and mental state. Since we cannot control what happens to us externally, for instance, you cannot say, okay, I'm going out today, I just hope everything works out fine. No, sometimes there are things that may happen to us as we go out that we may not really control. But with neuro-linguistic programming, we can be able to control what happens to us internally, our internal state of mind, how we respond to external forces. Now, that is what neuro-linguistic programming will do for us. In using positive thinking to reduce stress, research has shown that positive outlook or optimistic outlooks to life can go a long way to reduce stress and reduce the incidence of death to about 50% in those who are optimistic compared to those who are pessimistic. So it's always good to think positively. Now, in meditation, how can we use meditation to reduce stress? Now, during meditation, it's always worthwhile to take up breathing patterns that will help us supply oxygen to our body and also enlarge the lungs. Now, you can always practice this during your meditation section. You should always breathe heavily, breathe in heavily, and while breathing, you can uptake this procedure for like 5 minutes. You can do it for 5 minutes, 5 times for 5 minutes. Now, you breathe heavily, you breathe in heavily, and you hold it in for like 5 seconds. Then after which you now breathe out. As you're breathing out, you breathe out slowly. At the end of the day, it will go a whole long way to supply oxygen to the body. It will go a whole long way to help you enlarge the lungs and help you relieve yourself from stressors. The second tip on improving your health is reduce bad habits. Reduce bad habits. Now, most bad habits such as smoking, tobacco, and alcoholism, over time you get addicted to it, and once you get addicted to it, they serve as risk factors to non-communicable disease. So it's always advisable to curb every negative lifestyle that over time will lead to the formation of a habit. Now, if maybe you form certain habits such as smoking, such as alcoholism, such as poor nutrition, it's always good to take up the 3 hours of changing every habit, the 3 hours of changing every negative habit as stated by Charles Duhigg, to help you to change such a habit. Now, the first hour represents the reminder, which is the trigger, that thing that triggers you to engage in such an activity. The second one is the routine, which is you engaging in that activity itself. Then the third hour is the reward, which is the reward you get, maybe the euphoria you get from engaging in such an activity. So now, if you take these 3 procedures, these 3 hours, you can be able to change every negative habit. For instance, smoking, for instance, those triggers, those things that triggers you to go into smoking, be it association with friends, be it a sight of a cigarette box, be it a sight of a matchstick, you should always eliminate it from your environment so that you will not be accessible to such triggers. Now, the routine, which is the activity itself, you should try as much as possible not to engage in it, not to engage in smoking. Now, for the last hour, which is the reward, you can decide, okay, instead of getting or gaining euphoria from smoking, you can decide that, okay, since I've not smoked for 3 days, let me give myself a treat with a good vegetable diet, with a good vegetable diet and some juice. At the end of the day, it will always serve as a reward. Now, each time you remember the diet you take for not smoking, it will help you not to smoke. You understand? It will serve as a reward. Now, you can also use these 3 hours also to build positive habits. For instance, exercising. The first hour, which is the reminder, you can always keep your sport kit a place that it will be always be handy, a place that at a sight of it will motivate you to go out and exercise. You can always, all those friends that encourages you to exercise, you can always go out to meet them, to associate with those friends that encourages you to exercise. Now, such are the triggers. Now, the routine is you leaving your comfort zone to go and exercise with friends, you leaving your comfort zone to go and maybe do some track events, to go and do some weightlifting. That is the routine. Now, the reward is maybe after exercising for a period of time, you will see that you've lost some weight. Such a feeling will serve as a reward to encourage you to go into exercise once more. Now, these are the 3 hours that can help you to either change a negative habit or to build on a positive habit. Now, the third one is eat healthy. How to improve your health. Tips on how to improve your health. The third one is eat healthy. Try as much as possible to take your diet in the morning. It will help you to kickstart metabolism. The second one is, by every means possible, avoid salty and fatty diets. This will help you to avoid impact on your blood pressure and also to save your arteries. Then the another thing to do while eating healthy is you should always try to take a whole lot of calcium and vitamin D. It will serve a whole long way to strengthen your joints, to strengthen your muscles, and to give you stamina. Then you should take at least 3 liters of water each day. 3 liters of water each day. It will help to detoxify your body, it will help to hydrate you, and it will help in metabolism. Then another thing is, you should also try as much as possible to eat foods that are rich in fiber-rich diet. It will go a whole long way in helping you in digestion and in preventing constipation and other conditions such as colorectal cancer. Fourth tip on improving your health is exercise frequently. Now, this may range from mild exercise such as stretching the muscles to more strenuous exercises. One thing exercise will do for you is that it will help build your bones, it will help strengthen your joints and muscles, it will help you to gain stamina. Exercise promotes oxidation, exercise enhances flexibility. Even at the age of 50, with exercise you will always look younger. Now, the fifth one is sleep and rest. It's always advisable, the medical scientists always advise that we get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep each day. 6 to 8 hours of sleep each day. If you're having insomnia, it is always advisable for you to check if you are addicted to alcoholism. It's always to check if you are addicted to caffeine, other stimulants that may prevent you from sleeping. Another way to prevent insomnia is for you to set a specific time, a routine at which you go to bed at a specific time and you are meant to be awake at a specific time. Now, getting a good night's sleep reduces stress. Getting a good night's sleep reduces stressors, and it sharpens our mind and brain. That is what a good sleep will do for you. Now, the sixth one is keep your brain active. Keep your brain active. Now, it's always good to invest in mental health. Yes, it's always very essential to invest in mental health. You should consistently keep your mind active with books, solving puzzles, being engaged with mind-blowing activities and all that. Now, this will go a whole long way to increase your mental health. It's always good to engage your brain in activities that will increase higher performance. This will always go a whole long way to increase your mental and social health. Seventh one, which is the last one, is take some time out from work. Take some time out from work. Now, you have to, it's not always about work. You have to take out some time to rest. You have to take out some time to spend with your family, go for a vacation, go for a treat, associate with friends and families and all that. This will go a whole long way to help you improve your health. Now, these are the 7 tips that I've come up with to help you improve your health and stay more positive and go a long way to prevent risk factors associated with various chronic diseases. So much thank you for joining me. This is Victor Obinna, and I would so much appreciate you join me in tomorrow's section, which I will be taking on effective time management. It will be an engaging one. I just hope I have a fair opportunity to engage you in a live section. Thank you very much. This is Victor Obinna. Thank you.